Maras, back on the bike again, and this time it's for a little tour around the main island of Okinawa. And the ride I'm doing today is just under 119 kilometers, and it's from Naha, which is the capital of Okinawa, up to Kunigami. And I don't think I'll have a map graphic on top of this because my routes are a little bit weird on this trip, because it was just because of what hotels and stuff were available. So I'm kind of going like a little bit zigzaggy along the island instead of just going straight up. But I guess I'll quickly show you on my phone, and I don't know how well the GoPro is going to pick this up, but there's Naha there, and there's Kunigami up here. I'm kind of crossing the island once, going along that coastline, crossing the island again, and then going up. And it's just gone 8 AM, and I'm already 10 kilometers into the ride, because I've already came over to the east side of the island. And while I knew it was going to rain this morning, and you could probably see the grey clouds that are above me, so far I've noticed that it's going to be quite windy today, which it's a bit more crap when I'm riding on the bike. It's going to be a bit more of a struggle, but I'm hoping it doesn't make the audio experience of this video just completely null and void, so I guess we can only wait and find out what happens. But this is the first video that I make after being able to go back and edit some of the older ones, and I want to keep them a bit more concise than 20 minutes, so I'm just going to hop straight back on the bike and we'll get going immediately. That's also because I can't be late because your boy's on patrol. Well, I guess this is what I get this morning for trying to pick some of the quieter roads. Hey, only 10k and I'm already going in bloody circles. Be a good vibey tour this time, because this is the first time that I brought my speakers out to listen to some music on the way, because I usually always have my speakers on me when I'm doing a tour in the UK, because you know it's nice to have a bit of an uplift when you're on long rides, and I'm not going to cut my hearing off putting bloody in-ear headphones in. The society in general here, much more than any of the countries I've been to so far, seems to live by keeping to yourself and not inconveniencing others, no matter how minor it might be. So I was a bit worried to stop pumping some tunes out on my rides. But after a long evaluation now, after a couple of tours, it seems like I'll be okay. And I only really bring this up, to be honest, because it's a bit of a segue into one of the more stupider things about riding here, and that's the usage of a bell. And I'm glad I watched the two-wheel cruise video on bike rules in Japan before coming here. Otherwise I'd look like a right knobhead, because legally you're meant to have a bell on your bike, but nobody uses them. And if I'm remembering rightly, the reason is, and I shit you not, because it's rude. And it startles people. People don't want to inconvenience each other that much that it's rude to let other pedestrians know that you're coming up behind them. Oh, it's absolutely stupid. Like honestly, I've been here what, like 4.5 months now, and ridden in loads of different situations with varying amount of pedestrians, and I've not heard one bell. It's madness. And I've came through a park now, which turns out to be an athletic park. And there's a bloody bicycle racing velodrome training type facility here, which is pretty cool. I've never actually been to one of these type of things in person. And as fun as it looks, I think I'll be giving it a miss. But it's still a really cool facility all the same. And I also think we're going to be passing some castle ruins in about 10k. Hey, so much for keeping this video concise. Maybe the best vintage shop I've ever been to. As I think I said in the last series of videos, when you've not got a kickstand on your bike, going to a designated parking area is a bit more difficult. The ticket office had a little padlock corner where you could lock up probably about 30 umbrellas, but there's nowhere in the car park to lock up a bike. Disappointing scenes. It's locked on one of their little guardrails that they put up in the corner that I'm not really meant to lock it up to, but I've been left with no choice. So this walk now up to this castle better be worth it. Hey, who am I kidding? Of course it's going to be worth it. When I seen the construction on the way up here, I was scared it was going to be like Shuri Castle in Naha, but it's basically all construction at the minute. But it is not. Here we are, Katsuren Castle. An absolute stunner. I know Okinawa is meant to be this beach paradise and whatnot, but for the week I've been here so far, this is my favourite thing that I've seen. It's really nice. So I'm going to have another circle around and then put my head down for a bit until we get to lunch. Because I've got an Okinawan special lined up for today, so that's going to be exciting. And I feel like I sounded a little bit sarcastic there, but I didn't mean to, honest. Let's go! And here we are. Time for some lunch. I'm absolutely starving. Even got a nice little view up here. And this is the Okinawan special that I was alluding to earlier. Some taco rice. And it's basically just taco meat over some rice with some toppings. But to tell you the truth, this one looks a little bit weaker than the one that I had last week, which I'll flash a picture up of now. But I'm sure it'll taste great all the same, because it's all about the meat on this at the end of the day. Yeah, this is pretty decent. I'd still say the one that I had last week was a bit better. I'm still not disappointed with this. Hitting the spot right now. But it seems like the wind's calmed down just a little bit now. It was slowing me right down this morning, but I managed to get my average speed back up a little bit, and it seems like the sun's starting to pop in and out. Gotten a little bit of rain still, but that seems to have cleared up for the most part. But to be honest, I'm enjoying the sun being in right now. I'm getting a lovely cool breeze at the minute, because it is still warm, because it might be December, but we are in Okinawa, so the temperatures are about like anywhere from 20 to mid-20s, and also the humidity is quite high, so it can feel even warmer than that. So right now it's an enjoyable cool breeze. And I'm seeing all the other cyclists that are out today are doing the smart thing and riding the other way to get a tailwind. Why can't bloody Naha be in the north of the island instead of the south, so I can have a tailwind as well, eh? And of course your boy ain't going anywhere without his konbini dessert. And you can't really see the sign here, but I'm at a Family Mart right now, and I swear the Family Mart Mafia must run Okinawa, because they outnumber all the other konbinis by quite a lot. They're absolutely everywhere. Also just seen 10 of what I assume is American military guys coming in absolutely load up on snacks, so I'm guessing they're off to have a good time. But I've got about 58 kilometers left to ride, so without further ado, let's get back to it. I haven't really stopped at any beaches today, despite the fact that that's what Okinawa is known for, but oh well. And I did mention in previous videos that I'm not too much of a beach person, but I think the main reason that I've not stopped at the beaches today is that it seems like in Japan, a lot of the main roads by the seafront are quite elevated and quite far away from the sea. And that obviously it makes sense because of the weather, but when it's on a main road with a lot of fast moving traffic, it makes you want to stop way less. But I've stopped at some tidal flats because I'm preparing myself for my big climb of the day, because I've still got to go back to the west side of the island, as you've seen on the map earlier. I don't know if the GoPro's picking it up from here, but you could probably see a bit of the elevation poking out of the trees here to go to the other side of the island. So that's fun times. And as always, filming these little videos has taken up quite a bit of time during the day, but in Okinawa the sun sets a bit later than it does on the mainland, so hopefully I should be able to get in before dark. Hopefully. But if I'm doing stuff like crossing my fingers, it's probably best I just get back on the bike and get on with it, really. Looks like I picked the right side to descend on though. That was bloody lovely. And I think doing a 5-kilometer climb, of course, called for a little treat afterwards. And I've gone for Blue Seal ice cream, which I think is a chain you can find all over mainland Japan, but it originated in Okinawa. And my flavour choices today are sweet potato and milk tea. But it seems like one of my GoPro batteries is starting to fail on me already, because I'm low on both of them. So what I might do is just grind out some more B-roll on what's left on here, and then worst comes to worst, I can do what I did on the first trip and I can record the rest on my phone at the end. So let's get back on the road, eh? Still got a little bit of the ride to do, but given the battery situation, I think I'm just going to sign off here. It looks quite dark, but it's not quite time for sunset yet. There's just a big black cloud in the sky. It's had a lovely sprinkling of rain on the way here. But to be honest with you, I haven't been able to gauge today how interesting this video is going to turn out, so I hope you've enjoyed what I've edited together in the end. But for now, I hope you have a good one, and I'll see you tomorrow.